So I've been thinking a lot about new beginnings, especially this time of the year. It's on my mind quite a lot since it is December and it is a start to a new year, at least to a calendar year, where a lot of new beginnings are formed in people's minds before they happen. You know, the planning of a January 1st and January's missions. But just in general, I've been thinking about beginnings as an adult and how interesting it is to be beginning something when you're a grown-up, because you're so aware of yourself and you've been conditioned to form certain beliefs about yourself based on previous experiences and obstacles and hardships, heartbreaks, disappointments, embarrassments, humiliation, you know the drill. And you form your opinion, what you're capable of doing, who you are based on those experiences often. Oftentimes, especially as children, we are conditioned to turn into certain types of adults, especially if you grow up in unstable environments or environments that weren't supportive. And so everything new you start as an adult seems even harder because you kind of had to learn how to trust yourself and support yourself and uplift yourself to get by. But it's also fascinating because before we start forming opinions and thoughts about who we are just tiny humans doing new things without holding back. We don't think about mispronouncing the word when we say our first word. We don't think about, am I crawling the same way Jessica from next door is crawling? We're not judging ourselves about those steps. We just wanna go. We just wanna learn how to walk. Or anything you start as a kid, at least in most cases, you're not too preoccupied what people will think. Obviously, if you have been bullied, that is a whole new thing, then that's all you think about. You don't want to start new things because you've been humiliated once and you would rather avoid being humiliated again. And as adults, we become preoccupied with the outcome of our first tries, and we assign so much meaning to the outcome of our first tries that we often get discouraged about continuing something. If you're learning how to ski and you fall a lot on the first day, it doesn't mean that you're never going to ski well. It just means that you need more practice. And there have been a lot of things that I started that I immediately wanted to be good at because I could see myself enjoying that particular thing if only I was good at it. But I never stuck with it because I wasn't good at it the first time or second time or third time I tried it. And I'm learning to embrace the awkwardness of being a beginning as an adult, where I feel like a lot of that will happen in January with New Year's resolutions and people trying new things and implementing new habits. And I want you to keep in mind that being a beginner as an adult is so weird. It's a universal weirdness. It's universally awkward, and it's not just you. And oftentimes we're so worried of this first stage of trying to figure things out and how we're gonna make something work that we don't even want to start. But you can't have, sun feels good. You can't have the final stage unless you have the first few stages. For example, look at nature, right? The sun came up today. The sun comes up every single day, whether you catch the sunrise or you don't. Whether you see it rise or not, the sun rises every day, at least in most parts of the world. But imagine if you wanted to catch a sunrise and you went home at blue hour worrying how the sunrise is going to turn out, if the sunrise is even going to happen. Is it going to be a good one? Are you gonna actually be excited about the sunrise? And so you go home before the sunrise even happens. And you miss out on all the gorgeous colors that the sky can provide. Every season, Mother Nature rests and then comes back and starts anew without worrying how it looks. And look at all this gorgeous beauty. I don't think Mother Nature realizes how awesome and gorgeous she is, but this is amazing. Imagine if nature was second guessing herself and not grew these awesome trees. We would miss out on so much. When you're trying to grow a flower as a human being, you're not actually growing the flower. You're tending to the seed. You water it, you make sure the soil is good, that it gets enough light, you nurture it to growth. The flower grows on its own. And all you have to do is worry about planting the seed and then nurture it. You can worry about it being good later down the line, but without starting, how will you know how good this thing you're trying to start can be? Maybe it will change your life. Maybe it will be transformative in so many ways. The other day I attended a poetry workshop. It was my first poetry workshop, mainly because I've been writing my whole life, but I've never published anything because of many reasons. And I wanted to attend this poetry workshop to get inspired and just share my writing in a very closed environment among poets first. It didn't occur to me that most of the people over there were beginners. It only occurred to me when I started thinking about beginnings themselves. All I saw in them were human beings sharing their words. I didn't judge them based on how quality the words were. I was just immersed in their creations, in how they showed up as humans. It changed my perspective about beginnings. We worry so much about the starting point, and sometimes we worry about what other people will think and how society will respond to us being beginners. But at the end of the day, we are just humans. We're just experiencing the world for the first time. And that's important on its own. We are just experiencing life for the very first time and for the very last time, because we only get one shot. And so why not try the things that you're interested about, you're curious about? Why not be a beginner? Why not give things a go and not put so much pressure on ourselves, comparing our beginnings to somebody who's been doing this thing for years and years and years? Allow yourself to be a beginner. Allow yourself to be terrible at something. Allow yourself to be figuring things out and not be where other people are, no matter how much of an inspiration they are to you. Allow yourself to have your own unique journey when it comes to life and new things. And don't be afraid to take the leap of faith and go after the things that you want, no matter what anyone will say. And I guess that is my message for today's morning diaries. Let's now enjoy some peaceful nature.